Hey, want a cookie? Oh, I know you just ate, so you're craving something a little sweet. Besides, one cookie isn't gonna kill you. How about half? Just a bite? Bite it. Bite it. Bite it.
Food noise isn't fair, but Mochi Health is. Your affordable GLP-1 source that puts you on a path to successful weight loss by quieting food noise.
Bite it!
Shh. Learn more at joinmochi.com. Mochi members have access to licensed physicians and nutritionists. Results may vary.
Looking for these better days.
It is Monday, February 23rd. I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's what you need to know to make today a better day. For the first time in 46 years, the United States wins gold medal in men's ice hockey. That is the top story of yesterday, the top story of the weekend, the top story of quite some time, as Mackenzie Rivers joins me on this episode of Better Day, presented by FanDuel. Mackenzie, historic stuff yesterday. I woke up at 5 a.m. to watch this game. It was the best hockey game I think I've ever seen in terms of the skill level, the speed, just the intensity of the play. And when it was all said and done, Jack Hughes with the game winner in overtime as the U.S. wins 2-1. We cashed our pre-tournament bet on the USA to win gold at plus 200. We did not cash on Connor Hellebuyck to win the MVP, even though he was the MVP. He did not get awarded the MVP because they submit the votes after the first period, and Connor McDavid wins your most valuable player award. I understand
after the first period.
Yep.
What?
Yes. I understand it because it's not the MVP of the championship game. It's the MVP of the entire tournament. And they don't want, a what have you done for me lately mentality to skew the performance over the entire tournament. And Connor McDavid set an Olympic record for the most points ever in an Olympic hockey tournament. He was the engine that drove the Canadian team that finished with the best record in the preliminary round and made it to the gold medal game. So I understand why McDavid got the votes. And also Hellebuyck, because he's a goalie, and what you do in the preliminary round is you give your goalie a game off. He missed a game, So there could also have been an argument that it was the U.S. defense, it was the blue line, it was their team defense that was the reason why they didn't allow a ton of goals. I mean, this is a team that was perfect on the penalty kill in the tournament. Listen, if you would have awarded it to Hellebuyck, it would have been great. He deserved it. He certainly was the reason the U.S. won that game yesterday, but I understood why McDavid got it. And overall, it was we had great moments of profitability. The live betting angles, I think, were fantastic throughout this tournament. And when it was all said and done, I'm just thankful as a hockey fan, and I hope that more people now gravitate towards watching the NHL because truly this was, in my opinion, a win for the sport of hockey.
And Connor McDavid is officially a choker. So there's that. There's the LeBron 2012 aspect of it. I mean, he wins the MVP again in a loss. And the very last sequence, it's 3-on-3. You're going to get your opportunities. He's driving on goal. It kind of goes off his skate. He gets behind the play. Next thing you know, USA scores the golden goal. So, yeah, from a neutral perspective, and I know, and I'm a proud American citizen, and I'm glad USA won, but I also think about the bigger picture. And he's the best player on the ice. And he, yet again, no NHL trophies. I know he has the Final Four or whatever, the Frozen Four. No Olympic gold medals.
Four Nations face-off win. Four Nations face-off victory last year. Yes. No Stanley Cups, no Olympic gold medals. He's got,
He could still win one. He could win it this June. Tune in.
Yes, of course. It's not about one player, not like the NBA, but yes, I do get that side of it. Just an incredible tournament, incredible hockey, and yes, I thought that we'd see more goals in that game. We had plenty of opportunities to see goals in that game. Nathan MacKinnon's going to be thinking about that missed empty net for maybe the rest of his career, the rest of his life maybe. And how about the saves, like the missed opportunities? So many different just moments in that game that was just absolutely epic. But now we have to turn the page, Mackenzie. We have to move forward, okay? We have to move forward. We have to figure out now, how do we bet the NHL post the Olympic break? and I think I figured out how to do it. I want to back the goalies. What do you think about that?
The hot hit. I mean, are they less exhausted than the skaters after? I mean, they do take a game off apparently.
Yeah, it's not so much that they're less exhausted. I do think the skaters, it's interesting. When they return from the break, I'm curious how they perform. How can, they just played in the biggest games of their lives, right? Like, how do they now go back to their NHL teams on Wednesday and play in a regular season game? And it's like, okay, like, are we going to have the same intensity from these players? Are these players going to maybe experience like a little bit of load management now? And miss a couple of games or not have the same time on the ice because they gave it their all. This was the most intense hockey they've ever played in their careers, in their lives, right? But for the goalies, Mackenzie, I think they stay locked in because this was 2 weeks now, and especially in the medal round and in the gold medal game, where you saw the best competition that you will ever see, ever in your life. Like, there's no Stanley Cup final game that's going to have a better team than the team that you just played against in the gold medal game, right? And
Yes.
you prepared to play the best. You saw the best. Your eyes were trained. Your reactions were trained. And I think these goalies stay hot now, at least in the first couple of games. Like, this is what I did. I went and I looked back at both Connor Hellebuck and Jordan Binnington's performances in their first 3 starts last year after the Four Nations face-off. So that's like the only comparison we have, right? Like the Olympics, the Four Nations face-off last year, which was the All-Star break last year.
Yep.
In Connor Hellebuck's first 3 games after the Four Nations face-off, where he was incredible and played against, Team USA and played against Canada, lost in the gold medal in the championship game in overtime. Hellebuck's first 3 games after the Four Nations face-off, he allowed 3 goals on 74 shots. That was a .959 save percentage. That was better than what his save percentage was for the entire season last year when he was not only the Vezina Trophy winner as the best goalie in the league, but the Hart Trophy winner as the league's MVP. A .959 save percentage in his first 3 games back. 3 goals allowed on 74 shots. Jordan Binnington, in his first 3 games back after the Four Nations, 4 goals allowed on 82 shots against. That is a .951 save percentage, significantly better than his regular season numbers from last year. So both Hellebuck and Binnington, in their first 3 starts after the Four Nations face-off last year, continued to stay locked in. And that's what I'm looking for here in their first start or 2 or 3 after the Olympics.
Makes sense. We did this before the All-Star break or the Olympic break, looking at the past history. So I just looked up 2014, last time pros were in the Olympics. After they came back from the break, 17 games, 7 overs, 10 unders.
Yeah, I did. Yep. And I also,
you could do more by parsing out which of those 2014 goalies were at the Olympics, but it seems like the goalies were locked in.
Yeah, so here's what I'm glad you brought up those numbers because I want to go over some of those team numbers as well. But the way that we have to play Binnington and Hellebuck is not just I don't want to bet the Jets and I don't want to bet the Blues. What I want to do is look at their individual props. Like I want to bet goals against to go under, or maybe you do the opponent's team total to go under instead of like betting on the Jets to win the game. That's how I want to back these goalies. Once they resume. And I don't know. I mean, the Jets play on Wednesday. I don't know if Hellebuck plays on Wednesday. Maybe he gets a day off. Maybe he doesn't play until, the second game back or so. But this is what I looked at also last year. The first game for all the NHL teams after the Four Nations break. It was Saturday, February 22nd. There were 15 games on the schedule. 14 games on the schedule. Overs went 9-4-1 in the first games back from the Four Nations break last year. Favorites went 5-8 straight up, 3-10 though on the puck line. One of those games was a pick'em.
Terrible.
And home teams went 7-7 straight up. So the favorites on the puck line 3-10. Now I also looked back at the first games post Olympics in 2014, and in those games I have the totals at pretty much dead even, 7-2. I know you saw 7 and 10. We were probably looking at I was just looking at the first handful of games because it was kind of spread out. So I was looking at the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think, of that year. The favorites in those 16 games that I saw were 8 and 8 straight up, but 3 and 13 on the puck line. So favorites on the puck line post-Olympic break in 2014 in the first game back were 3 and 13 on the puck line. Favorites in the first game back last year after the Four Nations face-off were 3 and 10 on the puck line. So on Wednesday, I might just want to play every single underdog plus a goal and a half because those numbers are just incredible. And yes, a lot of those underdogs won the games, obviously, with the favorites going 8 and 8 straight up, and then favorites 5 and 8 straight up with the last year's numbers that we talked about. But yeah, if all you did was bet the underdog plus a goal and a half on the puck line, and I know some of them are pretty significantly juiced. Last year on the first Saturday after the Four Nations break, your underdogs at plus a goal and a half went 10 and 3, and going back to 2014 in those first 16 games post Olympic break, you went 13 and 3 on the plus a goal and a half on the puck line. So that's what I'm going to look for on Wednesday.
Look at him, eating whatever he wants, never gaining a pound.
Well, I'm stuck with the boring special and can't lose an ounce.
How's your lunch, man?
Amazing. Yours?
So good.
Oh, I'm so happy for you.
Cool, buddy.
Weight loss isn't fair, but Mochi Health is. The affordable GLP-1 source that can fix your frustration with food.
So, same time next week?
No! Definitely.
And your friends. Learn more at joinmochi.com. Mochi members have access to licensed physicians and nutritionists. Results may vary.
Most people don't realize how much of their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions pulling details about you from public records and the internet, then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might just sell credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it together at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/secure. Protect yourself now at aura.com/secure.
Want to know why betting the winter games on FanDuel makes sense? From game lines to medal counts to finding your angle on the events you care about most, FanDuel gives you more ways to stay connected to the action. The winter games are on, and there's no better way to follow them than with a bet on FanDuel. Curling matches that start slow and somehow get tense fast. Speed skating decided by inches. Hockey games that feel different from the opening face-off, and so much more. FanDuel, play your game. Must be 21 or over and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 and over and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.
NBA action from yesterday. A couple of interesting results. Also a couple of interesting tanking situations. Mackenzie Rivers, the tanking is really becoming an issue, but maybe not so much for us sports bettors, because I think it's becoming a fun little bet to bet against these teams in the fourth quarter, and they are just showing us how bad they are at basketball and clearly intent on losing games. I'll give you the perfect example. Yesterday, the Nets battling back and forth with the Atlanta Hawks. They open up the fourth quarter on a 12-2 run. They took a 102-91 lead, Mackenzie. The Hawks were 9.5-point favorites, by the way, but they're down 11 Well, they outscore the they outscore the Nets 24-5 the rest of the way. Not only do they win the game 114-104, they cover the 9.5-point spread.
Nets 3 for 14 from 3 in the fourth quarter. They only took 8 shots from 2. It's pretty easy to tank when you just miss shots. I mean, I'm sure half of them wanted the ball to go in, but if you're just checking up threes, it's more possessions and more opportunities for the Hawks to come back.
Yeah, and there was 8 minutes left in the game when it was 102-91. So in the final 8 minutes, outscored 24-5. Just unbelievable. The Nets just showing these teams putting on a clinic in how to tank games. Same thing with the Wizards. We had an opportunity, and we gave it out to Better Day Premium members on a live bet at the half with the Hornets on an adjusted line from what it was pregame, laying -9.5 against the Wizards, and they went on to win and cover 129-112 as they outscore the Hornets outscore the Wizards 44-28 in the third quarter.
Yeah, no Alex Sarr. When you have a second-year player that's your veteran for the Wizards, it kind of says a lot. Wizards have been especially good in the first half versus Eastern Conference teams, and especially bad in the second half, which happens to work out quite nicely for what the Wizards are trying to do.
Yep. Short-handed Thunder beat the Cavs 121-113, snapping Cleveland's 7-game winning streak. Also gave Cleveland their first loss since they acquired James Harden.
Yep.
I played the under in this game, Mackenzie, because it was a 1 o'clock Eastern time start time. Clearly didn't affect either of these teams as the Thunder scored, the short-handed Thunder, by the way, scored 40 points in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, they hit 50% of their threes. It's tough to cash in under. They're kind of hit or miss without SGA. They don't have a lot of players in the half court, but they do have a lot of three-point shooters that can get hot. This is the James Harden, litmus test, but a pretty decent game for him. His bugaboo is that he never beats good teams, especially in the spring, but decent game from him as their third best player, which he's going to be. 20 points, 9 assists, 5 turnovers, but I'd say that's a positive for a James Harden Cavs perspective.
The Nuggets, what an interesting game against the Warriors yesterday, Mac, is they were down big in the first quarter. They came back, made it, single digits at the half. They dominate the third quarter, 34-19. They take a lead into the fourth quarter and then just decide we're done playing defense. Yeah. Warriors outscore the Nuggets 33-16 in the fourth quarter. Warriors, as 7-point home dogs, win outright 128-117.
I mean, who is the best Warriors offensive player in the starting lineup? You got Guy Santos, Al Horford, DeAnthony Melton. I think it might be Pat Spencer, who had 3 shots in this game. I really don't know. Al Horford, obviously, historically. So the Nuggets are down to 24th on offense on the season on cleaning the glass. 24th defense. Number 1 offense in the league. You're going to get that with Jokic. But I was talking to AJ. We went to Ryan Garcia's boxing match. Good win by him. But he's like, yeah, it's going to be the Thunder, right? And this is why. Because the Nuggets are interesting. They might have the best player in the world. They definitely gave the Thunder a challenge. But you're not going to win the championship as the 24th best defense. Only one team ever even made the finals as a bottom half of the league defense. That was the Nuggets. But that is a much different league than it is now. It's too hard to do that with what they have to win the championship.
Yep. How about that? Celtics get a 111-89 win over the Lakers. I faded Jaylen Brown again in this game. I went under his 29.5 points, and the reason being was because this was his first day game while fasting during Ramadan. Because he's not abstaining from food and water from sunrise to sunset. Right. And I looked back at his first day game last year. He had only 8 points and left the game with back spasms. Muscle cramps tend to happen when you're dehydrated. Right. 2 years ago, in his first day game, he only scored 17 points. He had 32 points yesterday, Mackenzie, on a widely inefficient 10 of 28 shooting from the field. However, 9 of 12 from the free throw line. If not for 9 free throws made, I mean, I think this is an easy under 29.5. Like, I thought the handicap was correct here. Sometimes, like, the good angle it loses. Like, no other Celtics player got to the free throw line multiple times. Jaylen Brown shot 12 free throws in this game.
I mean, it's kind of a continuation of what we saw in his first game, which was not being very efficient, but being Jalen Hustle. 28 shots. He was taking the ball and 8 defensive rebounds, 0 offensive rebounds. So he's up to 22 rebounds, none of them offensive. That's the kind of hustle stats when you really want to make an impression. So maybe it's the inspiration of the holiday season. But yeah, he's on it. And when you're playing defense the way they are against the Lakers and they're having no success against you, you're going to get a lot of runouts. You're going to get a lot of opportunities to get downhill. And he's their best player, so he's going to take advantage of that more than anybody else.
Yeah, he was 3 of 9 from three-point range, as I mentioned, 10 of 28 from the field. So not a great shooting night, but he still winds up with a game-high 32 points for the Celtics. And after the game, LeBron James basically saying that, hey, Jaylen Brown should be in the MVP conversation. Mackenzie, I'll ask you, should Jaylen Brown be in the MVP conversation?
Just as I was very, very late to think, wow, the Celtics could actually win the East this year, I think that's the same conversation of Jaylen Brown could be the MVP. Obviously, Jokic, SGA are a tier above. I'd say Cade Cunningham has been better, but they're 5.5 games out, and the Pistons are a better team, I think, outside of Jaylen Brown and Cade Cunningham. So, I mean, he should be a distant fourth behind the 4 that I mentioned, Jokic, SGA, and Cunningham, but I think he's above Jalen Brunson. I think he's above Donovan Mitchell. He's done more as a two-way player than most players in the league. I mean,
up on FanDuel.
Than almost anybody in the league, yeah.
Up on FanDuel right now, SGA minus 145, Jokic plus 270, Cade Cunningham plus 650, Wemby 25-1, Luka 40-1, Jaylen Brown 50-1.
I would take Jaylen Brown over Luka. I mean, the Lakers are 6th in the West with the easy schedule so far. I would say Jaylen Brown's done more.
Yeah. Speaking of the Lakers and their easy schedule, saw this tweet last night from, let's see, I want to give proper credit here because it wasn't my tweet. It was Jovan Buha, who covers the Lakers, right? He said the Lakers are 8-4 in their 12 games with the Big Three. Their 4 losses are to the 4 best teams that they played record-wise, the Spurs, Rockets, Celtics, and Suns, and they've lost all of those games by double digits.
On the season, they have a negative scoring margin. They win close games, maybe a little bit because of the referees or because their guile and veteranship, probably all of the above. And when they lose, they get blown out. And there's a misconception. Well, people are like, all right, well, the playoffs are going to be close games, so they're going to win close games. No, we don't care about their winning, losing in close games or their blowouts. We care about how good we think they actually are. And year after year, that margin is a better correlation to success than their record. You don't believe me? Well, the Lakers were the 3rd seed last year, and I was the one guy I know in media saying, but they're no good. They're not good on offense. They're not good on defense. They weren't good before Anthony Davis trade. They weren't good after the Luka trade. And then they got trounced in 5 games. There's always going to be a glint of hope in the media about the Lakers, but I just don't think they're that good. I don't think there's one number you can point to that tells me they're a top 5 team in the league.
I can't disagree. Elsewhere, Knicks beat the Bulls 105-99. Sixers blow out the Timberwolves 135-108 as 9.5-point dogs. So big win there for Philly. Magic topped the Clippers 111-109. And the Blazers, we gave out this play. Blazers, a 92-77 win and cover over the Suns in Phoenix. They closed, the Blazers did, as 4-point favorites. So the line moved up from -2.5 to -4 because of the injury report for the Suns. Not only playing without Devin Booker, but Dillon Brooks broke his hand in that double overtime game on Saturday. And also Grayson Allen didn't play in that game yesterday. Now for the Blazers, Deni Avdija, their all-star, was questionable. And then he wound up playing. But Mackenzie, he played 1 minute and then left the game. And yeah, they still won, they still covered, but the reason why the spread went from -2.5 to -4 was not because of Grayson Allen not playing. It was a combination of Grayson Allen not playing and Deni Avdija, playing. Yes. And for him to only play 1 minute and then leave is I'm not saying it's not, oh, everyone's betting the unders and let's look at or like the shady stuff that happened before, but I do think that this is pretty
It
ridiculous.
was Portland, right?
Yeah,
Where was Chauncey Billups during all of this?
I know. I do think that this is kind of ridiculous in terms of just I don't know, competitive spirit. And we all want to talk about tanking, but I forget about player props. I didn't have any player props on Advia, right? But think about this from just an injury, all the money that's wagered on this sport. You rely on the injury report information. If a guy is injured to the point where he goes out there for 1 minute and then decides he's not good for the rest of the game, don't you think you'd figure that out in pregame warmups?
Right.
How does the league stand for stuff like this?
I mean, teams have been fined before. The Lakers have, the 76ers have, for saying Embiid was doubtful and then starting him, so kind of the opposite of this. I mean, it's not like there's any reason to think there's foul play or an ulterior motive here. The Blazers are not tanking. They actually want to do well. So I don't know. I mean, it's just one of those things. He probably thought in warmups. I mean, you don't go 100% in warmups. No player does. He thought he was fine, and then he went out there and it just didn't feel right. I can't blame him for that. By the way, the Suns, I think they might be the Milwaukee Bucks West, where they were a decent team. The Bucks were. Then Giannis went out. Then it looked for a while. They got some 3-point variance their way that they were a decent team, and they really weren't. The underlying metrics were pointing that out. I think without Devin Booker, if he's not back right away, with Dylan Brooks now in and out more often than not, I think this could be a 2-8, and especially in the West, this could be like a 2-8 run right here. We might have to start fading them regularly.
Well, Mackenzie, can I say that maybe there's something going on here?
All right, you found an ulterior motive. All right, what's going on with Denny Advia?
By playing 1 minute, he logs a game played and thus doesn't run the risk of not being eligible for awards. And he is currently the second favorite to win the NBA Most Improved Player award behind Jalen Johnson. He was my
preseason pick, so I love this move by him. I completely support it.
So he's missed. Advia has missed 11 games. He's only played 47 games this year. That includes yesterday. They've played 58 games, so he's missed 11 games already, right? You can only miss 17, right?
Yes. 17.
So they got 20-something games left. He can only miss 6 more. I don't know.
It gives them a lot more wiggle room. If there's some game down the stretch where they wanted to sit him now, they absolutely could, because this makes up for that. It's a dumb rule. It's a really dumb rule, and they should get rid of it because they instituted it. I mean, this is kind of what's dumb about the 82-game season. They instituted the 65-game rule when if you played a good season, no one had an All-NBA season that played less than 65 games. Now, because people are running 2 miles more, whatever it is, people don't have the same grit that they used to, whatever it is, nobody plays 70 games. So if you miss a few games and you're already supposed to play 70, it's very easy to get under 65. And if the whole league's doing it, then we saw this with Tyrese Halliburton before he tore his Achilles. Maybe it was related. Then the whole league is playing 60 real games and 5 bullshit games where they're just trotting them out there. It's a dumb rule. We'll get rid of it. Adam Silver is actually recognizing how terribly his league is being received right now. As popular as the sport is and the athletes are, there are going to be some changes.
Just shorten the season, please. Only 3 games on the schedule for tonight in the association. The Spurs are at the Pistons, and boy, wouldn't this be a fun NBA Finals? Right now, up on FanDuel.
That is not what David Stern said in 2005, but I enjoyed that Finals, 76-72 every game.
Right now, up on FanDuel, the Pistons are a 1-point favorite. Mackenzie, total 227.5.
Man, is Jalen Duren for sure not playing? Because this seems like real disrespect to the Pistons. Yeah, no, not on the injury report. I don't understand how the market thinks that the Pistons are a worse team than San Antonio. I have them as a point better, as upgraded as both of these teams are, and as exciting as the Spurs are. There's a reason the Pistons have a better record, and it's not just because they play in the East. I think they're a better team here. So home court being 2, I think this is a bad line.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything with the injury report for the
Yeah,
the
I mean, I just
Pistons.
saw the
Yeah.
line. That's not what I would make it.
Yeah, no. All right. Elsewhere tonight, you got the Sacramento Kings, the Tancramento Kings. I'm trying to think of something clever, but I can't. I think that's pretty good, actually. Tancramento.
It's not
Uh,
bad. It's not bad.
it's not bad. Going up against the Grizzlies in Memphis. Memphis laying 5 up on FanDuel. And then the Tankta Jazz. That's worse. I'm sorry. They are at the Houston Rockets, and Houston is a 14.5-point favorites. Would you look towards like team total unders for the Jazz and the Kings, or would you look towards like an in-game play to fade both of these tanking teams?
Yeah, the Kings especially, their young players, they get threes up in the first quarter and they take a lead. I think the Grizzlies are a good live play. The Jazz, I think their team total under is good throughout. The Rockets really been struggling. They're kind of like the Lakers and the Timberwolves. Like they're in that next tier of West teams, but really not putting their foot on the gas the way they're expected to. I feel like this is a great get right game for them on Peacock. And the Jazz's pace numbers and offensive numbers in general are kind of inflated by how crazy and fast they play at home. So on the road here, I think Jazz team total under makes sense.
All right, college basketball. We have 2 games on the schedule for tonight. The rankings will change by the time you are listening to this pod. It's not a system play, but the lower ranked team is currently a favorite right now. Up on FanDuel, at least. It is number 21 Louisville at number 16 North Carolina. Louisville currently a 2.5-point favorite. And then Big Monday rolls on in the Big 12. Number 2 Houston, who won't be number 2 by the time you're listening to this pod because new rankings will come out and they'll drop down. They take on number 8 Kansas. Houston, a 2.5-point road favorite at Kansas tonight. Mackenzie up on FanDuel, and this is the spot that we were waiting for to bet on Kansas. Kansas 5-1 at home, all time in the database as a home underdog, and also Bill Self, a perfect 40-0 at home on Big Monday. So naturally, we all want to bet on Kansas. However, that loss on Saturday to Cincinnati was so head scratching. The Darren Peterson experience is just there's something else going on here. The team looks like there's some I don't want to say locker room issues, but they just don't look like they play as a cohesive unit. I don't know if it's because of Peterson, him asking out of the games, hits a 3, asks Bill Self to take him out of a game early in the second half, not playing against big time opponents. The odds, we've missed the boat. I'm telling you right now. We missed the boat. We could have had AJ Debinca, and we talked about this on the pod like a week or two ago. We could have had AJ Debinca at over plus 500 to be the number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft.
Right.
Those odds have shortened significantly now. Darren Peterson's still the favorite. He's still like minus, 150, minus, let me actually look right now what it is. But AJ Debinca, last I saw, was plus 175. We could have had him at like plus 500, plus 600 to be the number 1 pick. Darren Peterson down to minus 140. Oh, my goodness. It has moved even further. Darren Peterson minus 140 up on FanDuel. AJ Debinca plus 145. We missed the boat. We missed the boat.
Who's number 3?
Cameron Boozer plus 900.
Cameron Boozer out of Duke.
Yep.
I kind of think Boozer might be in play because I'm not sure the reason that AJ Debinca went from clear preseason favorite to clear number 2. But I don't think
it's because of Darren Peterson. But
has he had that incredible of a season, or
no,
is there big questions about both? That's what I'm saying.
No, well, Debinca played really well on Saturday night, which is why his number went down, right? And all of the drama surrounding Peterson with his protect my draft stockitis, as I call it. I think that's the reason why more people are giving love here to AJ Debinca.
Right. So my question is, why was AJ Debinca go from the favorite to number 2 in the beginning of the season? I think people saw him and people thought maybe, all right, there's some questions that we didn't think preseason. That's why I think Boozer might be 9 to. I mean, it's obviously a great draft. That's why the tanking is so high. But I would not be shocked if it was Boozer.
Boy, you know what? I honestly wouldn't. If Duke has a big run here in the NCAA tournament.
There's a long history of the NBA of the safe big man, DeAndre Ayton, Elton Brand. Some of them worked out, some of them didn't. But just going with the surefire multi-time All-Star big instead of the wing that could be the best player in the league. A lot of general managers make that safe decision.
Yeah. So we're going to have to figure out what we want to do with Kansas tonight. Do we want to back the trends with the 5-1 as a home underdog, the 40-0 Big Monday trend with Bill Self, or do we fade Darren Peterson and go against Kansas? Houston's also coming off of 2 straight losses. It's very rare that they've lost 3 straight under Kelvin Sampson.
Something's got to give. But what are the chances that I learn of this 40-0 streak, and then it goes 40-1? Like in the next game, I feel like it's due to win. I mean, or maybe it's due to lose. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. It's due to lose because it became public last week after they beat Arizona, and it was all over social media. And now it's
went
like
from
it's going to be
completely obscure to,
exactly.
of course, to the Chiefs.
Yes.
Kansas
so now
is 40-0.
everyone's going to be on it now. Part of me is just like, I'm hoping that Kansas becomes the favorite in this game, because if they do, I'm going to bet Houston. But if Kansas remains the dog, it's so hard passing them up at home as the dog. More so than the 40-0 Bill Self trend that like everybody's going to be talking about here today.
Yeah,
5-1. It's the 5-1 straight up in ATS.
As a dog, that's tough to do. That is tough to do in a 6-game table.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at. I'm going to wait, but who knows? Maybe the public comes in and bets Kansas, and this thing moves down. But Houston right now up on FanDuel, a 2.5-point favorite at Fog Allen. So we'll keep an eye on that. As a reminder, you guys should be following us on social media. It's going to be a big I don't want to say transition, but we got some things coming here at betterday.com as we progress into March. Obviously, college basketball is going to be at the forefront with the tournament coming up, but we also have the World Baseball Classic. Major League Baseball is upon us. Like, spring training has already begun, so we're going to start rolling out some baseball stuff on the website. Get the databases up and running here for the regular season in Major League Baseball, and then really cool stuff that we are providing for our members as well. For more information about how you can elevate your betting game and become a Better Day Insider or Premium member, just click on the link on the homepage at betterday.com. Daily free play posted still at betterday.com. You can also subscribe to our newsletter for free right there on the homepage, and make use of our live scores and odds page. That is always free, as well as our betting tools, the calculators that are there for you to use for free on the website as well. For Mackenzie Rivers, I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's hoping you make today and every day a better day.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.